This session is specifically geared towards students who are in middle school and high school. So the information that we provide to you guys will be specifically geared towards that. It's not specifically in that order, but it's just basic information that you can take from all levels between grades 6 and 12. So I'm going to introduce the panel now. We have a panel of master teachers with over, I don't even want to date them like that, a lot of years. They just got a lot of years. We're not going to say a number. So we'll start over here to my far left. This is Julia Peters. She has a master's in education. Ain't Julia? Then second next to her is my mother, Diane Clemens. She has a master's in early childhood development in education. Next to her is Marilyn Thompson. She's a master's in education as well. And then next to her, directly next to her, is Mrs. Rachel. Rachel, this is my cousin. What's your last name? I'm sorry. Blunt. That's what it was. I didn't know. So Rachel has a master's in education as well. And then on the end, the far end, my Aunt Vera Wiseman. She has a master's. It's not Wiseman anymore? Oh, okay. So this is my family. They have a lot of years of education, and what we're trying to do is just give back to you guys and prepare you guys with information that they feel is pertinent throughout their years of experience, so we can pass it forward so these children can get caught up in areas that they might be lacking in or need help in. So if you guys will just wake up, because we're going to start with a little chant. And team, if y'all want to go ahead and stand up, so we want to pull out the chant, the firecracker. If you go through your packet, it looks like this right here. It should be on the front. It should start, it'll look like this, and it'll say firecracker, boom, boom, boom. That's the one right there. And if you guys will let me know, everybody got it? Good? So this is gonna be an interactive session, okay? So y'all are you can act like that if you want, but everybody gonna answer some questions. I'm just letting you know now, we finna all talk to each other. So if you pull out that, the way this works is, we're gonna say these chants together, okay? And so the first time the team will say it, and then the second time you guys will say it, all right? So y'all ready, team? 1, 2, 3. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. Sharpen our pencils, we'll do the rest. We're getting ready to pass our test. One more time. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom, boom. Sharpen our pencils, we'll do the rest. We're getting ready to pass our test. All right, now, y'all turn. So we all gonna do it together now, all right? Can y'all stand up for me? Let's go and stand up. Get out y'all seats. Sandra, I know y'all in middle school going on. High school. Go and get up, high schoolers. Cassandra. All right, now, we gonna get hyped in here. Let's go, team. 1, 2, 3. Firecracker, firecracker.
Boom, boom, boom. Firecracker, firecracker, boom, boom,
I can't hear y'all.
Sharpen our pencils, we'll
Okay.
do the rest. We're getting ready
To pass our test. You know what? We finna take them door prizes and them snacks, and we just gonna have to hold on. Y'all hungry? Okay. So y'all want that Chick-fil-A? Y'all want all? Okay. That's all right. Y'all don't have to participate. Okay, next one, last one. All right, so we're gonna all do this together. Y'all go to the second page, everybody do it together. We're gonna do it 2 times and we'll be done. 1, 2, 3. When I say pass, you say test. Pass.
the test.
Pass.
The test.
When I say score, you say high. Score. High. Score. High. One more time. When I say pass, you say the test. Pass. The test. Pass. The test. When I say score, you say high. Score. High. Score. High. Yep, we taking them door prizes home. All right. So since y'all just came here for the lesson, that's what it is. So we just gonna get straight into it. So we're gonna start off. Is this the second page? We're gonna start off with good test taking strategies and how to tackle the STAAR Test vocabulary. And that will be done by Ms. Diane Clemens.
All right, good test taker strategies. Strategies to remember to help you through a test. And this could be any test. All right, and I'm gonna need you to read it with me. This is gonna be interactive. Number 1, read it with me, please. What does it say? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Positive attitude. So what do we need? A positive attitude. And that's going to be towards any test. Okay? It might be tough, but you can do it. A good attitude goes a what? A long way. Number 2. What are we going to do? Relax. Read it with me. If you feel nervous, relax your mind. Take a deep breath, stretch your legs, and think about something that makes you happy. Try your test again. Number 3, read it with me. Me only. So you're going to only worry about who? Just you. Nobody else in the room. Just focus on you. Don't look around to see who's finishing first, because first don't necessarily mean it's all right. Take your time. So read it with me. Don't worry about others. Focus just on yourself. Don't worry if others finish before you. So because Johnny's finishing, then you begin to feel like, I need to hurry up and finish too. Johnny's maybe all wrong. So take your time. Don't worry about Johnny. Just worry about you. The test is for 4 hours. So if Johnny's finishing 30 minutes, his 30 minutes may be all wrong because it's a 4-hour test. All right, number 4. Read it with me. Focus, focus, focus. Focus on the questions you are reading. Try not to daydream or goof off. So you need to focus, just you. All right, numbers 5. Read it with me. Do your best. Make sure you are doing your best work on your test. Think clearly, read carefully, and put forth your best efforts. Number 6, go slow. Read the directions slowly and carefully for each question. Number 7, get unstuck. If you get stuck, don't get frustrated. If you need, circle it and come back to it. Make the best guess you can. Now let me stop right there. This year, they will be doing 2 types of administration. One will be paper and pencil, and one will be on the computer. Now, if you are taking the paper and pencil administration, then you can circle. You cannot circle on a computer. What you do on a computer is you highlight it and then you go back to it. But don't stay on a question a long time, because the clock will run out on you. So that's the only difference about circling it. You can't circle on a computer, only if you have paper and pencil. Then you want to circle it and put a question mark or something and then go back to it. Skip it and go back. All right, now what's the next one? Prepare your body. Get a good night's sleep the night before and eat a healthy breakfast. So, the night before your administration, You can't be up at 1 o'clock. You can't be up at midnight. You can't be up at 11 o'clock. You can't be up at 10 o'clock. You can't be up at 9 o'clock. You need to be in bed by 8 o'clock. That's a good time. You relax your mind, and then when you get in there, you won't be going to sleep. Does everybody understand? You need a good night's sleep. And that's all I have on that. Okay? Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully everyone is doing well. My information is not in your folders, and the other information that I have, I left at home. So I'm going to basically go over some choice boards, because when your kids have homework, that is something that you want to make fun and interactive, where you can see that your child is understanding what it is that they're talking about, and they can understand the concept that's being taught in school. So I have some choice boards that you can make that's already made, and your child just choose how they want to go about doing their homework. Say, for example, if they want to have reading, which is something that's required, that they're supposed to read 20 minutes a day. After the child reads, it could be a magazine, it could be a newspaper, it could be a short article, it could be a recipe. You just want them to be reading. And then you just ask them questions based on what it is that they read, so you know that they're comprehending what it is that they're reading. And then they can just choose which activity that they want to do. And then you have questions that you want to ask if it is informational text, which means that they're informing them about something, or if it's just a text that just telling them something fun, something that maybe that they like, comics or anything like that. And so you just have different types of questions that you want to ask them to make sure that they're comprehending what it is that they read. So that was one of the things that I had out, what types of questions that you could ask your child after they finish reading whatever it is that they're reading. And then with the choice boards, they just choose whatever activity it is that they want to do after they're finished with the reading assignment or the math assignment. When you go to the grocery stores, ask them the price of whatever it is that you're buying, and then just round up. Okay, if an item is $3.50 and we round it up, would you round up to $4 or would you go down to $3? Why not? You know, different questions like that. And then give me an estimate of how much this is going to cost if I buy a quantity of 2 or 4 or whatever like that. That way you're actively helping them with their math as well. So those were the things that I had, Randolph, that I want to present to you all on today. Again, choice boards, and then different types of questions that you want to ask them when they finish their homework. All right? Oh, yeah, okay. So this is one of the choice boards. So this is a tic-tac-toe. So the first one says, can someone read anyone, just read any one of the choice boards that's up there. Read somewhere outside, you know, because I know in school we have various places that kids like to read. Some of them like reading underneath their desk. Some like reading in a comfortable, cozy place in the libraries area of the classroom. So you don't want it always to be in the same place where where your child has a variety of places that they can read. Can I get somebody to read one more? Yeah, you know, because if it's a favorite of your child, you got to have them talk more about it. They'll be more engaged, and that's what you want. And then after they finish, then you connect it, okay? Have you read another book, something like that, that you could relate to? Whatever they're talking about in the book, is it something that's going on in the world? So they're making those connections that you want them to make as well when they're doing their reading. All right? Do y'all have the other slide? And these are just different types of tic-tac-toe. The first one was reading. Now this is one in math. Can I get someone to read the one in math? Okay, kids love blocks, starting early. You know, you can have your younger kids, their grandkids or whatever, but they love making blocks. That way they can understand the pattern. And that's something that's tested, I believe, in math. I'm not a math person per se, more English, but pattern is one of those things that they need to be aware of. Can I get someone to read one more? Okay, again, it just gives your child a variety of different ways to do different types of assignments that they may have or that they may not have. So if the child says, well, I don't have any homework, okay, well, let's pull out the choice board and let's choose one of these things to do. So that's what you want to do.
All right, good afternoon. Y'all, everybody in here is at the least 6th grade, and I don't know if we have any high schoolers in here, but y'all are probably tired of taking tests. And I'm sure you think, I know every strategy there is. No, you don't. But even if you do, there are some that are repeated. And the reason that they're repeated is because they work. So what I want to do is talk to you about some strategies that will help you with reading. Somebody give me a strategy that you have heard from the first time you took a test. Yes, y'all still young enough for it to be STAAR. What's one of the strategies that you hear all the time? What you got? Wait a minute. Let me do like Oprah.
Highlight where you got your answer.
Highlight where you got your answer. That's good. Why? Because that's showing text evidence. Somebody else? Number your paragraphs. And now they do that for you, though, because people were getting it off. Yes, number the paragraphs. And that's to help you keep things in sequential order. Any other ones? Anything else? Okay, well, I'm going to give y'all some that you probably have forgotten. And some of these are things that you learned for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And guess what? When you get to high school, middle school and high school, you still have to do these. So if you look in your packet, you should have a STAAR strategy seminar, little folder, and then flip it upside down. My printer was a little off. But you've got secondary strategies. We've got some pre-reading strategies. Before you get that article, there's some things that you need to do that are going to help you focus. The first thing is you want to look at the title. Why? Because that's going to tell you the subject. That's going to tell you the main character. That's going to give you information about what it is that you're reading about. And you need that because you got to answer the questions. So the first thing you want to do is look at and circle the title, let you know the topic, the subject, the main character. The next one is real old school. Read the questions before you start the test. Because what it does is it triggers things in your mind. If you read the questions and it says, what color is Harvetta's dress? When you read that passage and it says Harvetta's dress was sapphire blue, you're going to say, oh yeah, I need to know that. So that it makes a connection in your brain. So what I want you, so you're going to read the questions before you read the test. Next, this is one I learned from one of my little baby teachers, like Harvetta, who's a TDS. Read the first and the last paragraph. Why? Because the first paragraph gives you your thesis, what they want you to know. And the last paragraph should wrap it up. They go hand in hand. Now, thesis is not a big word for, it shouldn't be, but when you get to college, you have to write a thesis. When you get to 4th grade, you had to write a thesis statement. They call it a main idea sentence. But when you get to middle school and high school, they want to know your thesis statement. What you got to say about this? What is your main point? So make sure that you read that, and then your concluding paragraph, your concluding sentence ties back into that. So that helps make you make a connection. Next, look for text features. And I purposely put this in because most of the stuff that you read, most of the stuff that y'all find boring is the informative text. Well, actually, that's the easiest one because everything you need is right there on that chart. It's right there on that table. It's on that map. It's on the key. It's on the chart. Whatever it is, it's right there. So that's really the easier one. You don't have to try to figure it out. It's right there. Now, for reading strategically, read the passage carefully, taking note of or underlining what you remember from the questions. And the next thing is underline details that support the headings and the subtitles. So if it asks, what's on the menu? When you hear the word menu, what do you think about? Food. You go to a restaurant, right? So if my article is on porcupines and what they eat, it's on porcupines and it says what's on the menu, it's probably going to tell you, that section is probably going to tell you what porcupines eat. So you want to pay attention to that. Now, I also included some question stems for you. And some of them are the same ones from elementary because they don't change. But then they add a few more to make them a little more difficult. For example, what text feature helps the reader to locate, to find, to understand, or infer? What that means is, what does that map help you find? What does that chart tell you? What does that graph help you understand? The next one, what is the most likely reason the author includes this map, this graph, this table? Did he just put it in there because they didn't have nothing else to do? No, they put it in there because it's connected to information in the text. Number 3, paragraph blank supports the inference that. Well, inferencing is hard across the state of Texas for all grade levels. So when you make an inference, you take what the author has given you plus what you know, and you come up with you reach a conclusion or an inference. So if paragraph 3 supports the inference that porcupines have protect themselves with their quills, then that's what you need to know. What evidence does that? So that's what you're going to do. What section is most likely to give information about? That's the easiest part because it's right there in the subtitles. The next one says, based on the passage, what inference can be made about the topic? That's the whole thing. That ties in to the first and the last paragraph. The next one says, why did the author include the text feature? What is the primary purpose in writing this selection? What is the meaning of the word blank in paragraph, whatever? The author organizes information by, is an informational text, is it in sequential order? Do they give lots of dates? If you got in 1975 and then in 1985, then you know a sequential order. If it gives steps to something, that's another way. If it gives cause and effect, look at that. Those are easy ones. Read the following definitions. What can the reader conclude is true about? You have to use that dictionary and pay attention. Now, if you look in your packet, you should have this passage. The future is getting smaller. Let's look at that. First of all, how can the future be getting smaller? That's a good question. If you look, there's a picture here on the front, and you see pictures of, it looks like space people, but it's people looking in microscopes. And then on the next page, you have a chart. And so the first picture doesn't have a caption, but the chart says the evolution of microscopy. What word do you know that makes you think of, when you hear microscopy? What word is that? Microscope. What does a microscope do? When you look at a microscope, what are you looking at? Things that are what? Things that are small. Come on, boy, tell it. So if you look at this, it shows the history, and you have how it sees, the power, how much it magnifies, what it can see. And then you've got the optical microscope, the electron microscope, and the scanning probe microscope. So this chart tells us what each of these 3 kinds of microscopes show, how it sees, how much power it magnifies, and what it can see. So if you look at this, it's all, if they ask a question about how does an electron microscope see, all you got to do is right here it says it focuses beams on samples. The scanning probe microscope, if we want to know what can it see, it can see a few atoms. The information is all right here. You just have to take the time to go ahead and look and see. Now, I got one I want to do for y'all. Look at question number 21. What is the meaning of the word unprecedented in paragraph 5? Unexpected, not previously possible, unsurprising, or not previously understood. Let's go to paragraph 5. And aren't you glad they numbered it so you don't have to figure it out? It says, today nano objects are being engineered routinely in a variety of fields. Am I on the right one? Yes. Nanomaterials are used to manufacture super strong, lightweight materials that have improved boat hulls, automated parts, and sports equipment. Nano coatings are applied to eyeglasses to make them easy to clean and care for. Nanomaterials make all high-performance electronics better and faster than through the creation of transistor structures. Let me just skip down here to unprecedented. Anybody see it? I don't see it. Okay, read, baby, read. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you found it.
in medicine, engineering, imaging, computing, and almost any other field you can think of. Scientists are using nanotechnology to create innovations and make unprecedented advances.
All right. In medicine, engineering, imaging, computing, and almost any innovations, in almost any other field you can think, I can't even follow this, Lord. They're making unprecedented advances, okay? Targeted drug therapy is just one application that is tantalizing within reach. So now, the question is, what is the meaning of the word unprecedented? Well, what do you see? You know, means what? Not. Everybody know that y'all learned that in 3rd grade. So, all of these have not. Unexpected, not previously possible, unsurprising, or not previously understood. So, if it says that in medicine, engineering, imaging, computing, and almost any other field you can think of, scientists are using nanotechnology to create innovations. Anybody know what innovations means? This way you pull out the dictionary. Innovations, if you know what innovations are, that when you innovate something, you create something new, and it tells you they're creating it. So if they're creating it, is it unexpected? Is it not previously possible? Is it unsurprising or not previously understood? Well, I think they're expecting it. That's why they're doing it, right? I don't think they're going to be surprised. I think they know what they're doing. So that means it's not previously possible or not previously understood. So who wants to take a guess at what you think the answer is? What you got? You know, you got to speak. What you say, B?
No, D.
D, not previously understood? Anybody, how many people think it's not previously understood? Anybody got another answer to us? Okay, I think not previously possible. Why? Because this is new technology. That's the distractor answer. So the best answer is going to be not previously possible, because they couldn't do it before they had all of this. So what you want to do is, and just to make sure, whip out that dictionary. Whip out that dictionary and look at it. You also have the Bolivian female wrestlers fight for equality. I want you to look at the text features here. First of all, look at these female wrestlers. Now, that's not how they look on the WWE, is it? No, it's not. But they're fighting for equality. So what do you think, are they fighting for? Equality in what? What would they be fighting for? So you could ask the question, why are Bolivian female wrestlers fighting for equality? And look at your first paragraph. You may not think wrestling and activism have much in common, but indigenous female wrestlers in Bolivia would disagree. That lets you know right there, and activism has something to do with civil rights, with equality for people. And the last paragraph, now there are multiple female wrestling groups in Bolivia. Through their athleticism in the ring, they show the world that the strength and the power of women. So once again, you see how those two things tie in together. So I want you to take these question stems, create your own. And another thing, if you don't have worksheets, you know how in the store they have these free newspapers, DMARs? Those all have themes. Every month there's a theme running through that paper. Read it. Make up your own questions. Look up the words. Use your vocabulary tips that you learned earlier today. For their homework, do the charts that she gave you. These are quick ways to get your students involved and help their learning all at the same time. All right? Any questions? Okay.
As you know, in school, you have all types of learners. You have some people who learn auditorily, you have some people who learn visually, you have some people who are kinesthetic. I mean, they have to hear it, see it. Oh, sorry. Okay. In school, you know, you have all types of learners. You have people who learn auditorily, they can hear it, they can pick it up. You have people who learn, they see a picture, they can pick it up. You have people who learn They have to hear it, see it, feel it, touch it, multisensory. So you have all type of learners in the classroom. So when you're doing instruction, you have to address all type of learners that you have in your classroom. You can't just, if you're an auditory teacher, you have to address students who are visual, students who need to feel it, need to touch it. You got to address everybody because you just don't have one group of students in your classroom. So as a result, and you've heard this saying before, and it's called mnemonic, and it says 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. That's a mnemonic approach to help you remember how many days in each month. Okay, well, you can apply that same technique to learning vocabulary, okay? And there's two ways to do it. You can get a word that rhymes with it. You also can do a picture. So as you see, if you take this out for me, please. We're going to use this today, and we're also going to use, if you get a word that you don't know the meaning of, write the word right here, use it in a sentence, get an antonym and a synonym that goes with it, and then draw a picture. So let's just do the first one together, and I need some participation from everyone, please. Okay, our first word is, can I read the first word for me? Allude. Can you read the first word? Mm-hmm. Allude, uh-huh. Allude. Can you read it? Just read it. I know, I just need you to read it. Allude? Allude, okay. All right. Cassandra, what does allude mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Read it in the mic.
To refer to casually or indirectly.
Okay. So what does it sound like? What does it sound like? What does it sound like? What does it sound like?
I ain't hear.
What does it sound like? Right here.
Mean.
No, sound like. It sounds like what?
Disrespect.
Rude. No, right here. Sounds like what? Rude.
Oh,
Sounds like rude.
what the sound?
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, so look at the picture. As you see the picture here on the table, okay, and then I use some sentences. The letter Mark received alluded to something that happened in his college days. So allude means to refer to casually or indirectly, okay? So that word's allude. They drew a picture, and they used some sentences. So that's going into your brain, because your brain is a computer. It forms a picture. So if I can see a picture and associate that picture with that word, I can understand the vocabulary, the definition of that word. That's another method. I can also write it on here. I can write the word allude. I can get a synonym, antonym, and I draw my picture. It don't have to look like this, just any word. Just draw your own picture to help you remember what that word means. Okay, remember, you only have 4 hours on the STAAR test. So words that you don't know, try to make a picture of some of those words. Draw your picture, whatever way you can. Draw your picture to help you memorize what that word means. You can't look up every word in the dictionary. It'll take you all day. All right, the next word. The next word is, would you read it for me, please?
Drench.
Drench, what does it mean?
To wet thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
To soak.
Okay, and what does it sound like?
Bench.
Bench, okay. Look at the picture. So you see the word drench, what are you gonna think of? What are you gonna think of? Somebody that's what? Somebody that's what? Soak or what? Wet. Drench. Drench, okay? Now, grandma got drenched waiting on the bench. What does that mean? What does that mean she got drenched? What does it mean she got drenched? She got what? Say it again. She got wet. Okay. Drench means wet. Okay. The next one, please. Ruthless. What does it mean?
Having no compassion or pity. Cruel, merciless.
Merciless. Ruthless. Okay. Our teacher was so ruthless. She gave us 3 hours of homework every night. So what does that mean? She was ruthless. She was what? I know y'all said about teachers. What y'all say? Y'all said that about teachers? What? We ruthless? You say we're ruthless? We've heard it. Trust me. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Know what? Know what? We have no what? We have compassion. We just want you to learn. We have compassion. We want you to learn. We want you to pass the test. Okay, all right. Next word. Next word. This table. This table. Fleet. Can you tell me what it means? Here it is, right here. A group of cars.
A group of cars, boats, or other type of vessels.
Okay. Okay, fleet. You go into a car place, they have a fleet of cars. So what does it mean? What does it mean? A fleet, what does it mean? A what?
A group of cars.
Okay.
Or other type of vessel.
Okay, so as you can see, you can put any word on this paper. This is for you. Use it as your study guide. Make you a list of words you don't know definitions of, what they mean. Draw your picture. Get your synonym and anonym, and use this to help you when you're doing your STAAR study, vocabulary, to words. I don't know what that word means. Make your picture in your mind so you can understand what that word means. Okay. The next one, amble. What does it mean?
To walk slowly, walk with a leisurely gait.
Okay, to walk slowly. Amble. Okay. Caravan camels on long journeys rarely run. They amble. So that means they walk what? Fast or slow? Slow. Good job. Okay. That's all. Can you turn your papers over? Let's see real quickly. Let's do a little quick review. Papers over. Okay. I mean, turn down so you won't see. Turn down. Turn over. All right. Review time. All right. First word. Allude. What's the definition of allude? Hands. Allude. What does it mean? Anybody? Allude. 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 Does it mean to walk slow?
To refer or
To refer what?
to refer or to casually or indirectly.
Okay. Allude. Okay. All right. All right. What about drench? Drench. What does drench mean? It was raining so much, I got drenched. What does it mean? Wet. I got wet. Good job. Ruthless. Everybody should know what that one is. Ruthless. Ruthless. Come on, what is it? Know what? Know what? Y'all said that about teachers. Know what?
Passion.
No compassion. Okay. All right. Fleet. 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 Cassandra? Fleet. What does fleet mean?
A group of cars, boats, or vessels.
Okay, a group of cars. Okay. And the last one is amble. What does it mean? To walk high. All right, good. I like that hand.
All right, you all. I hope you don't mind me walking out. I'm a classroom teacher at heart, so I like to be really close to my students. We are going to talk about studying today. Okay, now we all know, I need my 6th and 7th graders. 6th, 7th, 8th. Okay, here you go. 8th and 6th, all right. I want to make sure we all get our study plan guides here. Do I have anybody at this table who needs it? Anybody at the table needs it? All right, and here is for you, ma'am, and for you, sir. All right, so now we all know that it is important to go to school every day. Regular attendance is important. That is how students engage actively in learning. It is equally as important to study. You need to have a regular study plan. Now, what I want all of my 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to do, I want you to turn to your parent or turn to your sibling, and I want you to read to them why studying is important. It's right at the top of your page. So turn to your parent, turn to your sibling, and read to them why studying is important. I'm going to count you down. 1, 2, 3. Please read. So we should be reading to our peer, our sibling. You want to read? Who is this to you? Cassandra, who is she to you? Your friend. Read to your friend. Why is it important? Right there at the top. Freeman, you read to your mom? All right. All right, is everyone done reading to their parent, their friend, their sibling? Okay, what was one of the reasons why studying is important? One reason. Yes, ma'am, in the purple and gold.
To reduce stress anxiety.
Say it again for us.
To reduce stress anxiety.
Very good. To reduce test anxiety. That's a good job. What's another one?
To build your knowledge base.
To build your knowledge base. What was the last reason why studying was important? Freeman, you want to tell us what was the last reason? Reduce test anxiety, very good, and it's going to build your confidence because the more you know about a topic, the more confident you are when you go into that testing room. Now, we all need to have a pen. All of my 6th, 7th, 8th graders, you need a pen or a pencil. Is anyone penless or pencil-less? Let me know. There you go. Anyone else who needs something to write with? All right, because this is interactive. Remember, this is about you. It's about your learning. You must take part in it. Now, for your study plans, you must have 4 parts. It involves 4 essential things. The first thing is what to study. The second is when to study. The third is going to be where to study. And then the last is how to study. We are going to focus on the first thing, which is what to study. Now, we are focused on STAAR here. So you should know all of the testing areas that you will have for STAAR, right? We should know that. My 6th graders, who's in the 6th grade? Raise your hand. You're in the 6th grade. What are you all testing on in the 6th grade?
Math and reading.
Math and reading. Thank you, Colin. 7th graders, any 7th graders? Okay, 8th graders? What are you testing on? Okay, and look right over here for me. What are those STAAR testing areas that you have?
Math, reading, science, and social studies.
You have a full plate in the 8th grade. 4 tests, math, reading, science, and social studies. So my 6th and 8th graders, I need you to circle those tests that you are responsible for. Go on and circle those for me. All the tests you're responsible for. Now, parents and students, what I need you to know is your child's daily instruction is led by the TEKS. That's the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. If you do not know what they are, parents or students, at the bottom of the page, that's the address where you can go and pull up all of the TEKS for these subjects. So you will know exactly what your child is responsible for. So I want you all to make sure you take some time to do that. The other thing is, you must know what you are strong in and what you're weak in. 6th graders, raise your hands for me again. 6th graders. Did you all have a practice STAAR test? Think about it. Did we have a practice STAAR test? We got one. Do you know what your results were? Did they share that with you?
My math one, I don't think I passed the math, but I went over my goal in reading.
You went over your goal in reading. Excellent. She knows she's strong in reading. You need to know where your weak are as well. What about my 8th graders? Did you have a practice STAAR test? Do you know your results?
I mastered all of them.
Mastered everything. You go, girl. That's what we like to hear, masters. But parents, please make sure you know what your students have had at their school. If they've had a STAAR test, a practice STAAR test, you should know those results. You should know the results for their quizzes, or their campus assessments, or their district assessments, because that's what's going to help you focus your study. You want to focus on those things that you're lowest in first, and then you can focus on the things that you're strongest in last. Know your strengths and your weaknesses. The next thing is when to study. That second column, when to study. You have to be specific and you must be realistic. Specific and realistic. 6th, 7th, 8th graders, I want you to turn to your parents, turn to your peers, turn to your friends or your siblings, and I want you to tell them how much time you plan to study for your STAAR test. Each day, every other day, some days, You have 1 minute. Tell them how much time you plan to study. Tell her how much time you plan to study. How much time are you studying, Colin?
At least 30.
At least
Hour.
30 an hour? Okay, good, good. I'm gonna need you to write that down. How much time are you all studying, ladies? 1 hour? How much time? 6 hours. In a day. We gotta be realistic. Oh.
At first she said 2 hours.
2 hours? Okay. And how much did you say, Taryn?
Every day after school for an hour.
Every day after school for an hour. All right, now see, some of you are already ahead of the curve. You're already writing here at the clock how much time. You know that's what I want you to do, right? So I want you to be specific with me. From what time to what time? Is it going to be from 4 to 5, from 3 to 4? What days are you going to study? Is it going to be every weekday, Monday through Friday? Every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Only on the weekends? When are you going to study? Be realistic, because this is all about you. So I need you all to write that down. Okay, I'm going to wait for 1 minute because I need to see that everyone has written down when he or she is studying. Over here. Hey, Freeman, you wrote down 1 hour? What days? Oh, 1 hour down. Okay. All right, the next thing we need to know is where we are going to study. Where? So is it going to be at the library? Will it be at the kitchen table? It's going to be in your bedroom? I need you to have a dedicated place to study because consistency is important. You need to write that down. Where are you going to study? If that's where you're studying in your bedroom, write it down. Okay, and where are you going to study?
In my grade. I don't know.
Well, pick a place.
In my room, I guess.
Just write it down. So we should all have our place. Now, when you all are choosing where to study, make sure it's a place where you will not have a lot of distractions. We shouldn't have the TV on. The radio should not be blaring. No one should be playing on PlayStation 5? We shouldn't be doing that. Where is school? Where is school?
In the library.
In the library? Okay.
She said be realistic.
All right, so I have library here. Colin, what did you put down?
Kitchen table.
At the kitchen table. Miss LSU, what you put down?
My bed.
And a bed. Okay, ma'am, what did you put?
In my bedroom.
In the bedroom as well. Taryn, what did you put on?
Outside.
Outside. That's a nice place to study. Outside, fresh air. Okay, and then I think I just have Freeman. Freeman, where are you studying? Freeman is going to study at the kitchen. Okay, the last thing that we have at the kitchen table for Freeman, last thing we have is how to study. I want you all to look at the items in that last column there. And I want you to check anything that you already do. Check them, and I want you to share with your parent, share with your sibling, share with your peer. What are some things you already do? Because a lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for a lot. And you all do a whole lot more than you think. So check everything that you already do. And after you check those things that you already do, I want you to circle one thing you might try. So what's something that you'll give a chance to doing that you have not done before? Going to take another 30 seconds. We have checks by what we do. We're going to circle one thing that we will try to do because we are risk takers. Okay, is it India? Okay, so India, tell us one of the things that you check that you already do.
I complete my homework assignments.
Very good. She says she completes her homework assignments. She already does that. My favorite, Miss LSU, what do we already do right now?
Review notes and assignments from class.
She says she reviews her notes and assignments from class. Good. Miss Taryn, what do you already do?
Take practice assessments.
Take practice assessments. That's very important. And since she just said it now, on the bottom of the page, there's a link. That's to all of the release STAAR tests. They have it on paper. They have it online. Anyone in this room can go and practice. It's not restricted. You can sign on as a guest. If you take the online assessments, I did, it gives you your feedback right away. Lets you know exactly what you got wrong and what you got right, helps you know what to study. Good job. Let's see. We're going to move to something that we're going to try. Colin, what's something that you're going to try?
Take practice assessments.
Colin said take the practice assessments. That's something he's going to try. Freeman, tell us something you're going to try from this list.
Make my own test questions.
Make your own test questions. Very good. And then we have one more. Cassandra, what are you going to try?
It's just, I put the same thing.
So what was that?
Make your own test.
Cassandra says she's making her own test questions as well. Now, we just went through the 4 parts of the study plan, right? We did what to study, the content for our grade level for STAAR. We did when to study, what time from, what time to, what days, realistic, because we want to be committed to this. We did where to study, kitchen table, school library, in my bedroom. We did how to study. We selected those things that we already do. We picked at least one thing that we will try to do. So we did all of that. Turn the page over, and I want you to go to Lachelle's STAAR study plan. I'm going to give you 1 minute to read Lachelle's STAAR study plan. 1 minute, we'll come back in 1. We're going to come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's look at our study plan. What is Lachelle studying? What is she going to study?
Algebra 1, Biology, English 1.
Very good. Algebra 1, Biology 1, and English 1. That's the what. After what, we need to have what else, you all? What do we need? We need when. We need a time. When is she studying? What did she say? 4 to 5 p.m. Very good. So she's studying from 4 to 5 p.m. Where is Lachelle studying? What's her where? At the kitchen table. Very good. We have to have our where. How is Lachelle studying? What does she indicate? Notes. Very good. Go ahead on. Not even in the 6th or 7th grade. Said notes. What else is she going to do?
She'll draw one main concept for each subject.
Very good. She's going to draw a concept. For those of you who are going to take the science test, at least 60% of the questions will have a picture. They will have a graphic. It is important that you understand pictures and graphics because you need them to understand that test question. So drawing a concept is very important. Now, the last thing, you all did a good job on Lachelle's plan. What do you think I need you to do now? Thank you, ma'am. Create a plan for yourself. We just did it, right? We went through all 4 parts. You identified your what. You identified your when. You identified your where, and you circled your how. What I now need you to do is using complete sentences, no fragments, write out your study plan. I'm going to give you all 4 minutes to get it together. And then in 4 minutes, you need to be ready to share out loud. Does anyone have a question? You have 4 minutes. Get to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I get a volunteer to read his or her study plan, please? right, yes, ma'am.
I take BAP reading, math, and social science and social studies. I'll be studying in my bed from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I will practice assignments.
Very good, very good. And we're going to make sure we are committed to doing this. Yes, ma'am.
I am taking the reading and math STAAR training. I will study from 3 to 4 p.m., which is 1 hour. I will study on Tuesdays and Thursdays in my bedroom. I will complete my homework and review notes that I want.
Excellent job. Thank you, ma'am. Any other volunteers who want to read their study plans? Taryn, you still working? Or are you ready to read?
She's almost done.
Almost done. We'll give you another second. Colin, still working? All right, that's okay. Freeman, are you working or you need a little more time? A little more time? All right. Then Cassandra, are you done? Or you need some more time?
I'm done.
You done? Okay, don't read for us. What are you gonna do?
Eat healthy and get proper rest.
Okay. And when are you gonna study?
At school,
At school, from what time to what time?
during lunch and during homeroom.
Okay.
Plus, I have study lab anyway.
Well, that's good if you already have it built into school.
Jayla,
I'm gonna bring it outside.
All right.
thank you.
All right. Anyone else who's ready, if you want to read and share? Okay, if not, it's fine. Taryn, want to read? Okay. Okay. All right, here you go, ma'am.
I gotta hold it.
You can.
I am taking math and reading STAAR exams. I will study from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday outside in the backyard. I refer back to my notes from both classes. I will start my study plan tomorrow after school until it's time for my starts.
Very good. Thank you all so much for participating. Good luck on your STAAR test.
Okay, guys, I want to go over some of the essential vocabulary that you will need to know for the STAAR reading. And if you could, I would like for you to read it with me, okay? The first one is what? Protagonist. And who is the protagonist? The main character in the story. And what's the second one? Antagonist. And who is the antagonist? Very good. And what's the next one? Metaphor. What is it? Figure of speech that compares something. Okay. And what's the next one? Simile. And what is it? One thing of a different kind and uses the words as alike, i.e. as brave as a lion, crazy like a fox. Can someone give me a simile? Anybody? Busy as a bee. Can I have another one? Can't hear you. Okay. Another one? Anyone? Freeman, can you give me one? No? Cassandra? Okay. All right. Very good. I heard another one? Very good. Okay, the next one is personification. And what is personification? Can you read it with me? Giving human qualities to something that isn't human or alive. And what's the next one? Point of view. What is point of view? To the story being told. Includes first, second, and third person point of view. What's the next one? The theme. And what is the theme? Subject of the writing. And what's the next one? Flashback. What are flashbacks? Okay, and the next one is what? Imagery. What is imagery? Very good. And what's the next one? Climax. What is climax? Very good. You're going to need to know these boys because you're going to see a lot of poetry, and you're going to need to know the figurative language piece to that. So you should have some of that in your package. Go back and study it. Okay, that's that. Now these are the performance standards. So for grade 6 reading, to approach the level, you'll need to make a 15-17. Now, approaches means you did not what? Huh? You didn't pass. It means you approached it, but you did not pass it. You don't want to do that. All right? The next one is you meet. You have to make 16-29, and that means you what? You met standard. What did you do? You passed, right? So you have to at least get here. Now the next one is 17-18, and that means you did what? You mastered it. You hit it out the park. That's the goal, okay? Now for grade 7 reading, to approach it, you have to make a 15-67. Did you pass? No, you approached it. All right? For meet grade level, you have to make a what? 16-74. That means you passed it. Masters, you have to make a what? 17-63. That means you knocked it out the park. Grade 8 reading, to approach it, you have to make a what? 15-87. Did you pass? No, you approached it. Means you were close. Okay, to meet standard, you have to make a what? Very good. That means you met standard. To master it, you have to make a what? 1783. That means you did a really good job. Okay, now we're going to go to strategies that I want you to remember when taking your STAAR test. Number 1, important vocabulary words. We just went over some, but that's not all of the words, but this is the beginning. Number 2, don't forget the title is important. Number 3, read the questions. Number 4, read the passage. I'm going to say that again. Read the passage. I know that we don't like to read sometimes, but guys, if you don't read, you are not going to pass. Now this year, some of you will be taking paper and pencil administration, and some of you will be taking it on a computer. Boys and girls, please do not just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because you're not going to pass. Take your time, read the passage. Okay? Number 5, if you come to a question that you are stuck on, skip it. Go back to it later. Number 6, remember the STAAR test is timed. You have exactly 4 hours to complete the test. Don't spend a lot of time on one question. Skip it, go back to it. Number 7, don't rush through your test. Take your entire 4 hours if necessary. Use your strategies. Boys and girls, if you finish a 4-hour test in 30 minutes, will you pass? No. Take your time. The test is so delicate that it knows exactly how many minutes that it takes to answer one question. Take your time. Number 8, if a question has an A and a B, you must answer part A and B correctly to get credit for your answer. So make sure you answer both A and B correctly. If you answer A correctly and you don't answer B correctly, it's wrong. So make sure you answer A and B to get credit. And that's all I have.
Who wants to win? I want to hear some noise.
What that chant?
Quiet.
Look, they.
Okay, this table's warming up. I hear y'all.
965-010. Nobody? Somebody gotta have.
Did y'all look at y'all ticket?
The last two numbers is 10. 965-010. Last time. You're right. All right. Well, somebody gonna be upset in a minute.
Somebody shake them up. Okay, let's see. Who's the lucky winner?
965-015. Ah, there you go.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's his name?
What's your name, man? Colin. Say again? Colin. Colin, that's a strong name, Colin. Don't spend it all in one place, man. From BMI, I went to BMI. It was called Wonderland then, though. All right, we got one more. Nine 965-011.
What?
Let me see your ticket. 965-016. Taryn. She goes to Lawson. She's with Freeman. What I did.
Who is it?
965-014. Is that Mr. Washington? Lawson Academy again, on fire. Yeah, that's the last one. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pass out some surveys. If you guys would please fill those out. Let us know how we did, how pertinent the information was, what we can do better, because we're learning as well. And if you, once you're done, we'll come back around and collect those. I wanted to also, Christy, can you put on, yeah, there you go, the resources. I wanted to also call you guys' attention to this resource list. So what this is a website that you can go to, and it's actually, the link is gonna be on our website, our nonprofit website, and you guys can go to this website and take a practice test. So you basically will be able to take a mock test, a mock STAAR test, and what that's good for is that tells you the areas that you're weak in and the areas that you're strong in. And so that way, that gives you a platform to kind of build on. And we'll also collect, if you could do me a favor as well, on the back of your performance evaluations, if you could write down your first and last name and your email address. And after that, we will line up for the food. I also want to take this time to do some acknowledgements. I want to thank everybody who helped make this possible. Aunt Julia, Diane Clemens. I know, they can see that though. I'm doing it, I'm making an executive decision. So I want to thank Ms. Thompson, Rachel Blunt, Aunt Vera Wiseman, my sister Christy, all the volunteers, Ms. Gail, Ms. Thomasine, Des, Aunt Lily, people who donated who aren't here, the Willeys, Joyce Adams, my Uncle Clarence and Beatrice, Dwayne, the Joneses, Harold and Denise Jones, Pleasant Hill. I want to thank all of you guys because one of the biggest reasons that I was so motivated to form this nonprofit was because, yes, and my photographers and the videographers as well. My man right there, I appreciate you guys, man, taking the time out for a purpose that was dedicated toward, or not dedicated, but something that was meaningful to myself and my family. That means a lot to me. But like I was saying, one of the reasons that I formed and we formed, you know, but it was something that I really birthed was to address the three things that really plague our Black and brown communities, which is financial literacy, healthcare, and education. My oldest sister's a CPA. I work in the medical field as a radiographer, and I'm surrounded by educators. And so I know how important it is to be financially literate, to be educated, and to also take care of your body. So we'll be doing different events as far as those pertains to healthcare, education, and financial literacy. So this is something that is very near and dear to me, and I know to my family, and we appreciate you guys taking the time out on spring break to come and try to better yourselves. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys can take things that you've learned today and apply them when it's time to take the test. And also, like I said, can you pull up that link again? We're going to be giving away another prize, but you have to go to this website. This website is hyperlinked on our community website for the nonprofit. You take the practice test. The first student to send us back the practice test with the 80 or above will get a prize. So make sure that you acknowledge that. So we're going to be sending out emails with our website, and you guys can go on there. And also take this back to your schools. You know, the students that you know that weren't here, that couldn't make it, tell them about it. You know, it's meant to, you know, each one teach one. But that's the motivation. I want to thank you guys again. Mother Thompson, Ms. Thompson, Rachel, I thank you guys so much.